So Venom comes out on, when is it? It's on
Friday.
October 5th.
October 5th. It comes out this week. Roxy saw it last night.
She did.
We are seeing it today. And there is all the reactions came out yesterday. They were mixed. Very mixed. I saw comparisons to Catwoman.
What?
I saw people who said
I saw that tweet.
I saw some comparisons. People said they really liked it a lot. Where do you? Because you just, I don't want you to break embargo, Roxy. But where do you stand?
I don't understand the Catwoman tweets.
Okay.
For me, I had a lot of fun watching this movie.
You did, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
I will say this about Roxy too, which I like, is that like most musicals, she's like, look at the bright side of life. She always looks at the positives, which I usually do as well. It's why I'm not allowed to review movies with Mark anymore, because I love Let's Be Cops, and I will stand by that movie whenever, wherever. But you and I seem to always kind of look at the bright side of things when it comes to certain movies.
The only kind of movies that I don't do that for are like super pretentious films like Phantom Thread, where I'm just like, if you're going to try that hard and I don't like you, but like for fun superhero kind of movies, there's always something cool about them.
Right. No, I'm with you. It's kind of like why I actually enjoyed the beginning of Suicide Squad with like the music videos, and everybody else hated it.
I like that too.
But then the movie falls apart. So, but there are always like cool things to pull from this. When I saw the trailer for Venom, I was like, oh no.
Me too. I thought that the trailer looked like a turd in the wind.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised with people on this one. And I will say that the people at the screening, it's always weird when you go to a premiere because it's like a little bit of a circle jerk, obviously, right? Like people are really excited for each other.
They're cheering for their friend who's in it.
And like every name that comes on screen or any new actor, woo, woo, woo. And then there was this like boy band in front of me of 19-year-old boys called I wrote the name
Backstreet
down.
Boys.
No, they're like a popular boy band, and I was the old woman behind them. Like, excuse me, are you guys coming to like a group, some kind of group? But
we're LFO.
Anytime it was something like that.
57 degrees.
I'll pull it up. No, but anytime something happened, they were like, no, yeah, and like the whole theater was like talking about that. Yeah. But in general, I will say that the theater all seemed pleasantly surprised. We had all heard things going into it, and people seemed pleasantly surprised.
Perry seemed mixed. Perry seemed like she liked things.
This is a question I have about people who went to the premiere, because I've been to premieres as well too, and it seems that a lot of times with premieres, because of what Roxy just said, there are people inside of the audience that are there to support the movie.
Their name was Pretty Much. Do you guys know that band?
No, but I remember the Pretty Much It YouTube channel with Jake Baldino and Eric Striffler.
Sorry, continue.
No, it's okay. So there was where I lost my, where was I?
So you were talking about
Perry went.
The premiere
the premiere sometimes can get to a place to where all the people are there, they're supporting the film. You have this like overall this buzz because hey, we're supporting our friends, and it's like when you invite like Roca, when Roca did his comedy.
I was going to say you at Florida State.
Right. Well, yes, but when Roca had comedy, when Roca was doing comedy, had all his
friends.
When Roca had comedy,
well, he had all his friends there.
Bad case of comedy that guy.
But the point was like you had that energy in a room. Do you think that you could have gotten persuaded a little bit by that?
No, I don't think so, because I think it was different than a lot of movies where I feel like people go in already knowing that this movie's going to be great. Like people were so hesitant to even react about certain things because you don't want to look like an idiot, and if you hear a movie's not good, you don't want to be the one person who walks out and is like, it was amazing. But so I don't think I was swayed. I think I really think there were some major issues, and I see that.
How's the? Can you talk about the CGI at all?
I don't know what I can and can't talk about.
I don't know if you can. I don't want to get her in trouble.
I don't know what I can and can't talk about.
Well, the embargo lifts tonight, so tonight you can.
I'll do some kind of review.
And you guys are going to see it tonight.
I'm excited for you guys to see it because I want to know. I mean, I've seen all these tweets too, like the worst Marvel movie or Marvel associated, whatever we call it, movie ever. All these things, and I'm like, I really think you guys are going to enjoy it.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about it in depth tomorrow.
Catwoman.
You don't need to. It is bad.
It's as bad as people.
It's really bad.
It's not good.
Yeah, I was working at Village Roadshow at the time too.
You're the one that greenlit it?
No, I was an intern. but I remember when it was actually what actually got me a recommendation, because the main executive had us all in a room, and they're like, "Well, what do you guys think about Catwoman? Are you guys excited?" And everybody's sort of like, she's like, "Who's not excited?" I'm the only person. I go, and she's like, "Why?" I go, "I feel like we've this movie just it's not hitting what Catwoman's supposed to be. And I went to this whole people, all the intern class, like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
This guy's got some balls.
And I'm like, it just doesn't look like a movie that is hitting what Catwoman the Essential is supposed to be. We're marketing it off of Halle Berry just in this tight clad leather to where I think you're just exploiting her, and it doesn't really. And I'm like, this is the woman who made the movie. What are you doing? And she pulled me up. She's like, I appreciate your honesty.
Candor.
Here. Yeah, candor.
Pack your shit, but thank you.
More or less, but because my friend told me she put in a phone call and got me the job at Silver Pictures.
Wow.
Because that I articulated my thoughts, got it out there, and the thing was the movie actually, and when it bombed, like, a lot of the critiques were what I said.
Yeah.
In the thing. So.
So
that
you
was-
so
And
you
then
so
2
you wrote
weeks
it.
later, Schmoes No was born.
No, two weeks
shit.
later, I walked into a meeting. Susan Downey, who is Robert Downey Jr.'s wife, right? Susan Downey, someone else too, and I had to do, and I'm in, or it's like probably 2 months later. I'm working there, and I had to go into this meeting, and I go, here we go, another situation just like this. I'm gonna knock out, and I stuttered every word. I stumbled over every. It was like bombing a bad set, and I'm like, I just blew my shot. I ultimately had a couple other after that, but I was like, oh, I blew it, and I had this pitch, and I tried to get it out there. What I liked about this particular movie, garbage.
Did you know Susan Downey, Christian Harloff, Halle Berry, all born in Peoria?
Not true.
I'm still stunned.
Is it weird
from
when I
that
hear her
fact.
last name that like if they're like, oh, it's Susan Downey, Robert Downey Jr.'s wife? I'm like, no, his last name's Downey Jr. Stupid.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, son of a.
I remember one time I was
It's a
in
dong take.
my sister was in 3rd grade, and I'll never forget. We were driving to the mall, and she asked my mom. She said, "Hey, Mom, what's Billy Joel's last name?" And my mom was just silent for like 5 seconds. She's like, "Joel," and Lisa's like, "Oh." Okay.
Do you think your mom was thinking about it, or do you think she wanted to didn't know how to break it to your sister?
I think she's like, okay, for me anyway, I was like, look, she's talked nonstop since the day she was born. I can't wait to watch her just get punched in the nose
this last
right
month?
now. This happened 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And my mom actually
And
waited on
2
Billy
weeks
Joel.
later,
Yeah.
Schmoes No was born.
My mom waited on Billy Joel in when he was touring when Piano Man was just starting to get big. She waited on him in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
They kept the restaurant open, and it was Billy Joel and his entire band, and she was the one waitress that was still working that night, and the band was having fun with her because they're like, no, you got to guess which one of us is Billy.
I think you told me this.
So
Yeah.
Did she guess?
So Billy Joel is my father.
I never had Billy Joel when I was working CPK, but I did have Ray Liotta and Carrot Top.
Whoa, that's
Was
big
this
time.
was
That's
this
who you went in, yeah.
pre-jacked Carrot Top or post-jacked?
Jacked.
Yeah. He
during.
is shredded.
Yeah, he was, and gave a good tip.
Yeah.
Gave
He's a
really good
super
tip.
nice guy.
I remember him giving like it was an insane tip. It was something like if the meal was like $30, he left like 15 or something. Like
From
that.
the stories I've heard, you did not deserve that tip.
Well, that's very true. We were talking about it the other. I might have been if. Like George Carlin's joke, by the way, is like, where he would say, "Somewhere in the world is the world's worst doctor. Has to be process of elimination." And he's like, I was the world's worst waiter. Process of elimination.
I
You're
could see
talking
that.
that at your party.
yeah.
You would walk in, Lisa Pancake would
Yeah.
go, "Do you even iron your shirt?" You're like, "At least I don't care about this job."
That's
That's what you would say.
At a party, I said at a party. She's like, I just have to say, like, you've come in, like, I've never even seen you iron your shirt. I go, I don't really care about this job. And then I got fired because she was the manager. But yeah, like I just didn't.
You know
care.
the term in the weeds.
Yeah.
when you're waiting
Yeah, yeah,
tables.
yeah.
You guys know
God,
that term?
yes.
Do you know that term?
Yeah.
I
you
don't
get,
just
like,
think
8
it's waiting
tables at
tables.
once?
In the
It's
weeds is something.
Everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember I was really my first bartending job. I was 18 in New Jersey, and the head bartender was this old grizzled guy that had literally bartended his way through his first clientele because they died off, and he was onto his
Yeah.
next like alcoholic crew, right?
Good for
and
him.
and I was like running around, I was sweating, and he was like, "Jesus, you're in the weeds, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, you're only in the weeds if you care," right? So I was like, "Put that forward, right? Just go at your pace, get the tables done, whatever." 10 years later, I'm at this high-end bar here in LA. This girl's running around all sweaty, and I was like, "Hey, calm down. You're only in the weeds if you care." Then she says that to the entire staff at a staff meeting, and I get canned. Because my manager's like, "You can't. That's a
Good advice to that
awful.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But-
Combining your two
Brutal.
celebrity encounters
Brutal.
at CPK, Gypsy Guy 420 just left a quote in the chat room, and he says, "As far back as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a carrot." Well
That's
done.
really good. So I want to ask a question about Venom though too, because Roxy seemed, we can't get the full take yet, seems to have enjoyed it. There are others that have not. The question is, as it says in the thumbnail, financially, will this movie make money? And if not, will it be a financial disaster for Sony?
It might be a financial disaster for my wallet because I bet Perry yesterday on Movie Talk. We were both on and we were talking about the box office. I think this movie is going to be a dud. I think it's going to tank. So she asked me, and I lowballed her, and I shouldn't have done it because she's like, "Okay, how much do you want to set it at?" And I'm thinking like, I don't think Venom's going to make $30 million. And then she's like, it's tracking at like 50. And I'm like, shit, I should have said like 45. But I said what I said, and I'm going to stick to it. I think Venom is going to tank. And we've seen examples of this. I said a beer. So
if your wallet is really hurting after that beer, we're in a tough spot.
You should see the Wells Fargo account. So the bet is $30 million, and we've seen Solo. We've seen Solo do underperform. We've seen movies underperform. I do not trust box office tracking at all, whether it's the box office success of a movie surprises people or the box office mishap. I don't think people are excited for this movie.
I think the movie hits tracking. I think it does around 60 million to open, but I think it tanks after that.
There's no way it does 60. I'll bet you would be here 60.
Give me 50.
I'll give you 52.
51.5.
You're such a dick. Fine.
51.5.
What do you guys betting?
Is it weird that I was going to say 60? Like that was going to be my total.
What do you guys think A Star is Born is going to do?
I think that's
25?
going to do better. I think that's going to do over 30.
You think A Star is Born is going to beat Venom?
No.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I don't think so. 25 to 30, but it's
I know
going to do
that you
very
don't
well.
think
By the
that.
end of the box office, though, I think Star is Born will have made more domestically than Venom.
I agree with you.
Fair point.
I totally agree with you on that.
It's
Yeah.
a better movie.
Yeah, and I think it'll because that's.
I sure freaking hope so.
Well, remember, there's a lot of reasons why.
And Venom's more of a musical.
Right. It'll.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
big turd and red.
Gonna lick a face.
You're gonna have.
I ate a guy.
Yeah, the word of mouth will cover for a bit on that movie.
Okay.
Which
right?
one?
Star is Born.
Oh.
As where Turd in the Wind will drop like a turd in the wind after the first week, and then after all the nominations come out for Star is Born, it's gonna hit again in January. So that movie is going to crush.
What do you think domestically from beginning to end of box office? 110?
For Star is Born?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that's true. And I don't.
I could go up.
I don't think Turd in the Wind hits 100.
If
Yeah.
that movie gets into January, we've seen what Bradley Cooper does with Oscar contending movies in January. American Sniper, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom,
yeah.
boom. Everybody's gonna be talking about this movie.
I agree with you.
They
and
should be.
And I think that the other thing too.
Have you
is-
seen it yet?
No, I missed
saw
every
it?
screening.
Oh,
missed
and you
every
saw
scene.
it and you
I
don't
wanna
think it's a
see it.
musical.
I know everything that happens in it.
I know every word to. I've been listening on Lady Gaga's YouTube, so going into it, I knew every
The
word to that
music's
song. And then
phenomenal start to finish.
yeah, holy crap.
Maybe want to play guitar, but I have little cocktail weenies on my hand.
Me too. My dad told me I would never should try because I
Little-
suck at it,
Little stubby toes.
which is what every parent
But
should
I
say.
have fingers on my feet.
Oh, can you
I
play
can
the
play
guitar
Cat's
with your
Cradle
feet?
with my
I can.
feet.
Nice.
I can play the mandolin.
Good. But everyone thinks it's going to be a financial
Wiki feet.
disaster.
Can't you have a smaller
No.
guitar? No, it's going to be a bum.
What does the
I
audience
don't think
think?
a financial disaster. What would make it a disaster?
It's
Well,
cost
it costs
100 million.
well, it costs 100 for production, plus add in about marketing, close to another 100, so about 200 million. It's got to make around 300 worldwide to really break even.
Is it going to go in China? Is it a China? Because a lot of these movies sometimes don't go in China. Do you know what I'm saying? They can
Yeah.
only have 15 or 20
Right.
movies or
Christian,
whatever.
your thing about it was I don't know. Your thing about it was that you were upset about the rating, right?
Yeah, I actually am one of the few people who actually like the trailers. I was very excited for this movie. It's just the buzz now has just been so bad on it.
I
And,
think
after
they're-
hearing Tom Hardy's comments that they cut 40 minutes out of
Yeah.
the movie that he liked.
I think
Yeah.
I think the trailers are fine, and it's not that I'm hearing a lot of negative buzz. I'm just not hearing buzz. There's just nothing in the air about this movie. And our buddy Scotty O'Brien, Scotty Stats, he's asking me like, do you think it would have been better if it's rated R? I will disagree with you that if this movie was rated R, I think the exact same lack of buzz. I think.
Well, I don't know. I'm not. There's no agree or disagree because I don't have a take on
Yeah.
whether or not I think it would be better or more buzz. I don't know what the movie would be. I didn't see the movie, and I also don't know if I see the movie and I say, oh, this is PG-13. It could have benefited. The movie could have been better if they really went after it and was a little more raw. That's a possibility, but there's also a possibility like they would have just been gratuitous. I don't know.
When we left the theater, my girlfriend thought it was rated R.
Oh, okay.
which I will say.
It looks it looks dark. It looks like there's a lot of action, a lot of violence in it. But you're right. If you just go gratuitous with that, it didn't need to be rated R. You're cutting off a portion of people who could potentially go buy a ticket to go see it. So in the case of Deadpool, I'll agree with you. I think that movie got a lot of buzz simply because it was rated R.
Sure, Logan as well.
Yeah, they're gonna go no holds barred with both those movies. With Venom, I'm just not. There's nothing in the ether about it.
So Perry, I read some of Perry's thing. Perry said that it would. I have to see the movie. Perry said it would have benefited from rated R.
Yeah.
But I have to see the actual
I
movie.
could see that. I think it might have benefited from rated R.
Well, Perry swindled me out of a beer, so I do not trust her.
That's fair. Well, we're gonna have a lot more to talk about that tomorrow. Riley, thoughts from the chat?
A lot. Everybody's saying it's going to tank and it's not going to do. But I've seen a couple people hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think we're all hoping.
One hot take, 300 plus million for a worldwide take. I'm assuming worldwide.
Yeah, that's
Make
tough.
up your own mind, though.
That's
Yeah, of
tough.
course.
Go see it.
And that's Roxy. A lot of people here are saying I'm going to make up my own
Good for them.
mind on
Yeah, they
this,
should.
which you should. You
I'm just not
absolutely
a big
should.
fan of the villain movie.
He's not a villain though, is he? He's like
He's
an
like an
anti-hero.
anti-hero kind of.
I think that you're gonna really like this, Josh. Like you specifically.
I'm
too.
telling you though, for me as a
Smith
Spider-Man
in it?
fan, this is the hard thing, and I'm wondering if it's carrying over into this conversation with people going, "Spider-Man's not in it. Why do I care?"
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
would agree with that.
I don't know.
I would agree with that.
I care because Venom is only as good as his counterpart, Spider-Man. There's a history there, and when you're telling me there's no Spider-Man connection, what do you care about with Venom?
I think the
Eddie Brock.
Riz Ahmed character has potential though, because this is a guy like somebody who's trying to, in his mind, improve life. So he's got like that Elon Musk thing where it's like, okay, he's got a lot of money, he's sinking his teeth into this thing, and it's very radical, it's very experimental. Is he a good guy? He certainly is in his own mind, but if that goes downhill, how interesting is that going to be, him versus Venom? That's what I'm looking forward to. But if you give me that versus Venom versus Spider-Man, I want Venom versus Spider-Man.
The bigger problem for here is too. It's just like it does if it bombs. If it does bomb. If the reviews are bad, the spotlight is going to get right back on Sony.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, well, the MCU, Marvel wasn't involved in this one. Feige and crew wasn't involved in this
They
one.
had all these projects lined up.
Right. When they
are
were.
now all they all got their release dates, and they're like, well, and it's they didn't say this, but it's clearly that they're waiting to see how Venom does before they greenlight these other movies.
That's the whole thing, is that you give it to the Feige and crew to have Spider-Man be part of their MCU. They do. It's one of the best Spider-Mans of all time. It does the best out of all the recent Spider-Man movies.
Spider-Man.
Right, and we're back on track, right? This movie has nothing to do with the MCU. It has nothing to do with Marvel Studios. And if it tanks, fair or unfair, people are going to go, well, Sony doesn't know what they're doing again. They bombed out those Garfield movies. They bombed out this movie. Get them out.
But that's the first.
What?
You fucked up Garfield.
Garfield.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant the cat.
No, the actor.
I was like,
Fucked up Garfield. You fucked up Heathcliff.
he just eats lasagna.
Right. And you never touch it in an Elf movie.